What's going on, guys? I'm Landon, and this is David, and we're Taffy Hoops.
This video, we were already arguing about it before the video even started, so we're really excited to do this top 25 video for you guys. So we'll start with the, we'll just get right into it basically, with our basically bottom tier, the 21 through 26, because we kind of had a bit of an argument for 25 there. But yeah, so our tied for 25 is we have Brandon Ingram at 25, also with Zach LaVine. I wanted to put Brandon Ingram higher than that, but it just turns out that Landon doesn't think the same way I do about Brandon Ingram.
Brandon Ingram wasn't even on my list, my top 25.
Exactly.
I just believe if you're the star player of the Pelicans, who, granted, made a play...
They made the playoffs.
They made the playoffs because they beat the Clippers. Mm-hmm. They made a play. They got in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. But you're scoring like 20-something, like low 20s, like...
He evolved into something more than just a scorer. He got into the All-Star game because he was just scoring so much. I feel like he's evolved his game more. He's passed a lot more.
He didn't get in the All-Star game last year.
I'm not saying he did. I'm saying 2 years ago when he got in the All-Star game. I know.
Last year, I don't think he's a top 25 player.
Okay, whatever. I feel like he's evolved more as a rebounder and an assist.
That's
and his
true.
scoring didn't go up as much, which made him look like a worse player, even though he probably got better.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I see that. I think definitely it'll be interesting to see how he plays when Zion comes back and that team kind of becomes its full thing. And then Zach LaVine.
Yeah, Zach LaVine was the other guy. I didn't have him in my list. I had Ingram edging him out with some other guys ahead of him. But LaVine definitely was the one that I had a hard time taking off the list, and one you barely put on. He's a great player. I wouldn't be mad if you put him on the list over some of these players, but...
I mean, I just have to take into account, like, especially for LaVine, it's like, what is he doing? And then, like...
What role is he?
DeMar is, like, also on his team.
Right.
So it's like, he's not even the number one option, and he's still putting up those numbers, and he's still providing that much to his team.
Right.
And I would have loved to see the Bulls make a deeper playoff run, but obviously that's not possible when you... Well, you'll know why at the end of this list. But... yeah.
And then our next three guys, we had a three-way tie for the 22nd spot with Zion Williamson, Rudy Gobert, and Jaylen Brown. I forgot about Jaylen Brown when I was making my list.
I was thinking about that. You did not have Jaylen Brown.
I put him in my list after seeing yours.
Yeah.
I put him at 25. But yeah, he played so well in the playoffs that I think he played himself into it. But I like the Zion Rudy Gobert argument for sure. It's definitely hard to know where to put Zion after his injury, but I feel like if you're just basing it off his talent and how he played when he actually plays, then he would be a lot higher. But if you're playing based on like his availability, and he would be a lot lower, probably not even on the top 25. So it's really difficult when you have like a more consistent Rudy Gobert versus a less consistent but definitely more talented Zion. And I don't think anybody would argue that Rudy Gobert is more talented than Zion.
Yes, yeah.
But I put Rudy Gobert over him because his defense is definitely better, and I feel like he impacts winning more just because he plays more and is near Zion's level. And
where'd I put Gobert?
I don't know. I need to see that.
I think I should have put him above Zion.
Oh, you did put him above Zion.
Okay, that's what I thought.
No, I put Zion above him.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know what I did.
That's what I was thinking. I was like,
I feel like that's such a difficult argument, but we both had them right next to each other.
It's just hard to gauge. Like, there's just so many players on this list that's like, well, I think they're here, but like they haven't played in basically a year, and so it's like maybe they're not. This may like make me look really dumb in this next season,
right?
But
yeah, if
you just have to put them somewhere,
right? And it's really difficult to do that. The next one we agreed Anthony Davis was better than the rest of them, but it's also difficult because of injuries.
Another one of those guys. It's
right.
like a couple of years ago, it's like he was projected to be the best player in the league. Like
he was
second-ish.
definitely top 10, top 5 even.
And even when did he drop out of top? Because he was in top 10 at a point. When did he drop out?
I think he dropped out this season.
This season.
Or like the end of last season.
Yeah.
Like I had him at like maybe 12 last season, like going into this season.
Yeah.
And then when he was not playing well and then he got hurt, I feel like I did drop him out of the top 20, which kind of sucks.
Yeah. It's like, I don't care if you're super skilled when you do play. If you get like
20 minutes.
ow,
20
my
games.
fingy every time. Shout out to Sam. Every time, like, I don't know, just, yeah.
Yeah. Definitely durability is something we took into account, and I feel like that dropped a lot of players, but yeah. I feel like talent does rule overall if you're playing. So
Oh, yeah, for sure.
we'll see how the season goes for all of them, but I really hope they boost up when they are actually playing, and that they do actually play.
This is a really weird tangent that we don't even have to put in the video, but we could keep it in the video. I've seen some like basketball podcasts where the people will just be like, I'm sensing a Devin Booker injury this season, and I'm like, what? Why would you say that?
Yeah, I don't think that's like that's
Like
not
not an injury ridden player, just like a player who's been pretty healthy his whole season, almost kind of like some D Rose type, like the way they phrase it is almost kind of some like D Rose type stuff. And I'm like, no, not at all.
Yeah.
Like, don't say that. Why would you say that about someone?
I get it if it's somebody who's like consistently injured and you're like, I don't know if he can stay healthy. That's something where I might have to knock him down. But it wouldn't be like, hey, I think Luka Doncic is gonna miss like the whole season.
Yeah,
No.
it's like, what? Just,
Number one,
okay.
I don't think it's like ethical to predict an injury
No.
like that. But also, it's not accurate. Like, why are you just picking
It's
that
just
out
random.
of the blue?
Yeah. Okay. There's our tangent for the video.
And I think that should stay in. That's
Yeah.
something we need to call people out for that. Yeah.
I don't think it was through the wire, but
That wasn't through the wire.
okay.
Let's go with the next tier. We had another tie for the 19th place. Damian Lillard and Karl Anthony Towns. Another situation where I didn't know where to put Dame. He played really well. Not last season, the season before, and I feel like I'm still riding that. He started off the season not great, and then he got injured. So I did drop him down from like where I had him like 12 maybe down to like 19.
Mm-hmm.
So he's definitely taken a step back, but I think he can bounce back and be one of those top 20 players again.
For sure.
Karl Anthony Towns, he's on the rise, especially with playing with Gobert. I think he'll get better. This is the first season I've had him in the top 25, which is long overdue. I should have had him a long time ago.
Yeah, Karl Anthony Towns was a really interesting one. I couldn't think of his exact place, just because, like, I feel like he's been such a great offensive player for so long, like elite
Right.
offensively,
Right.
and it's just like, what I know he can do it, but what can he do with it? Which if that makes sense.
What I like about the Cat and Rudy Gobert duo is that they fill each other's holes.
Oh yeah,
Cat can shoot, he can space the floor, he can dominate offensively when Rudy Gobert is not on his best. And Rudy Gobert can take that, what I've seen like with like sports analysis or like film analysis type stuff with Rudy Gobert, he's best as a help defender in the paint. And if Cat is guarding like a wing player, he can still get beat, and Rudy Gobert still has someone to block. And Rudy Gobert is just on like the worst shooter, I guess, where they're not where he doesn't have to go out to them all the time. And I feel like defensively, that's perfect for them. It covers Cat's weak spots, but also covers Rudy's weak spots.
exactly.
So-
Yeah, I always feel like people always say Cat's like a horrible defender. He's not a bad defender.
He's not a bad defender.
But like you see, like the iconic Boogie Cousins,
Oh yeah.
like cat picture. It's like
Yeah.
like he's gonna get dominated by some of those more
Right.
those tougher big men, and that's exactly where Rudy can fill in.
Right.
The Stifle Tower.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I like Dame Lillard and Cat are kind of in a similar tier. I think Cat's going to go up, and Dame might go down if he has another bad season. But I think they're at this point they're pretty similar. And moving up, I think we hit it on the head with James Harden here.
Mm-hmm. Another guy kind of hard to gauge.
Right.
It feels weird to have someone who's MVP.
He's a one-time MVP, but he's been
but like MVP 5 years ago,
Yeah.
4
4 or 5 years.
29. It was 2018,
Well, we've had
24ish
It is 5 because 2 Jokic, 2 Giannis, and then Harden
Harden.
for that.
So
Yeah.
so 5 MVPs.
Yeah.
5 seasons ago, he was the MVP, and it feels weird to just drop him out.
Yeah. Drop him out of the top 15. I had him in top 10 last year,
Mhm.
and I feel like I don't know if it's even the on the court stuff. Like, he's definitely taken a step back on the court, but I feel like it's all the off the court stuff. Asking for trades 2 years in a row. I don't know if he can be that reliable number one that I thought he was 2 years ago.
Yeah, it just seems like someone who I don't know how like valuable he is to your organization, because he's
Right.
obviously going to give you. He's obviously going to like do great things when he plays for you, but it's like, when is he going to be playing for you? Is he just going to ditch you the next chance he gets? It's like, even like the pay cut. People talk about the pay cut a lot,
yeah.
but it just kind of sets him up for next year.
Right.
I mean, it's good, but
It's a short-term deal, so he can get out of it pretty quickly if he needs to. But it also, he wants the best team possible.
Yeah.
He's not going to be that selfish, I feel like.
yeah.
Moving up, this is the first guy we actually agreed on a spot for.
Really?
Yeah, this is our first one we agreed
It actually-
on a spot.
Yeah.
And it was Donovan Mitchell at 17, above those guys that we listed. Donovan Mitchell looks, I feel like I can't really say much about his spot until I go with the players above him. So we can talk about him, but we can also talk about DeMar DeRozan, who we also agreed was above him. I saw no way that DeMar would be in this top 25 last year.
No.
He became like an MVP candidate for the first half of the season last year, and that's something that puts you in the top 10 in most cases. And he did slip a little bit in the end of the season, but like, if you're an MVP candidate, you should be a top 15 player in the league, and the fact that he wasn't even that was insane for me.
I wouldn't even say he slipped. I would say he just kind of came to earth almost.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
It's not like he stopped doing what he was doing, really. He just
Right.
became. I feel like people let the hype just kind of die down a little
Right.
bit.
That makes sense. And I think his play did drop a little bit, but it wasn't as bad as he was in San Antonio.
Yeah. And yeah, like, I would say definitely team success. It's definitely not. It's not a huge factor in this. But with like someone like Donovan Mitchell, there are some people where I put Donovan Mitchell above them because I figured, well, like, he has a better team than this other guy. So I'm like, he's
We also
doing.
had Rudy Gobert on his team.
Yeah, he's Rudy Gobert. So it's like, it's just. Yeah.
Who we did rank above Zach LaVine. So I feel like they're kind of in similar situations, and I feel like because DeMar had that MVP level stretch and Donovan Mitchell didn't, I feel like I was comfortable putting DeMar over that.
For sure.
And then moving on to the next tier 2, going into our top 15, we had 3 guys that were pretty similar, but they were slightly separated. So we have 15 with Kyrie Irving, 14 with Paul George, and 13 with Trae Young. This was something where we just had the order different, and but we agreed on these 3 players in those 3 spots. And I feel like I could rank those 3 guys in any spot with each other, and it would be not too bad, I guess. Not too bad of a ranking.
Wait, can you say that again?
Yeah, Trae Young, Paul George, Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
I feel like those 3 guys, not really interchangeable, but like, I could see your argument for putting any of those guys above each other. And I feel like I would say Kyrie's the most talented guy, but he's the least available.
Yeah. When I was ranking this, it was Kyrie and Paul George both haven't played a lot of games in recent seasons.
Haven't, yeah.
Have not, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. And then Trae Young has definitely had like the most impressive numbers, most impressive availability, most team success.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
because
deepest playoff, like he had deep playoff run recently.
That's mostly because of Paul George and Kyrie's inavailability, but
Um,
Trae Young having that conference finals run definitely pushes them over the top, at least for me.
Yeah. So yeah, Trae Young has that. Kyrie Irving, like you said, most skilled player in that for sure, I think. But again, just it knocks you when you aren't available for your team.
Right.
And
I
you
feel
just
like
haven't been able to play.
he's gotten better at that this like by the end of this year. I mean, with all the stupid vaccine stuff where he just didn't get to play, which I'm not going to talk about that.
And then Paul George, I would say he's just like the best leader out of the 3. Like, can definitely, out of those 3 people, like kind of lead his team. He led the Clippers to. Was it last? I didn't get my seasons mixed up, but
He got to the Western Conference Finals the same year that Trae Young did.
But yeah, he's been done pretty well at leading his team.
Right.
While they don't have Kawhi.
Right. And moving on to, we have another three-way tie here for the 10th spot. So moving in near our top 10, it's a tie between Ja Morant, Jimmy Butler, and Devin Booker. I had a hard time ranking these guys. I thought it was really difficult. I ended up going in the order of Devin Booker, Jimmy Butler, and Ja Morant. Just because Ja Morant is the most unproven, and his playoff unsuccess, I guess, was something that dropped him down for me. I probably would have had him in the top 10 for sure if he had at least made the conference finals. And I feel like Jimmy Butler and Devin Booker have had more playoff success. Even though they haven't won a championship, they have had more success than Ja Morant.
Yeah. Huh.
But Ja Morant has shown the most upside in talent this year. So I feel like it's such a difficult argument. Jimmy Butler turns it on during the playoffs.
I think I did Ja, Jimmy, Devin, I think, or Booker. I think.
Yeah, you did. We both had Jimmy in the middle.
But we just switched Booker and
Ja.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I don't. That's a tough one. Like even now, like after making it, I don't even know if I agree with what I said.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know if I agree with what I said either. It's like such a difficult argument where you can find arguments for both sides, and it's just whichever ones you believe more or whichever ones you side with more, I guess. And I feel like any of those three guys in your top 10 makes sense for me, I think. Then moving to...
Oh, but Jimmy did get dreads. That bumps him up, David.
Does it?
I think so. I think it bumps him up.
I don't... Why? Okay. You're going to have to show me the stat on that. Like, do players get better with dreads or something like that?
No. I don't think ever. Once.
We can see.
Cat, no. Harden, no.
Russell Westbrook? No.
Okay, never mind. Knocked him down. He's at like 20 now. Okay.
Moving to the top of this tier, Jason Tatum. I think he was clearly better than those three guys based on how he played the second half of this season, including the playoffs. I think he's the most talented guy out of these, but I don't think he has reached that superstar level of the tier 1 guys yet.
Yeah. I think one thing that's interesting is just that people always... they love to debate whenever the Celtics are doing well. Maybe Jason Tatum isn't doing that great. They're like, ooh, is Jaylen Brown better than Jason Tatum? No, just make a tier list like we did, and it's pretty clear Jason Tatum is on this tier of stardom, and Jaylen Brown's like down here. Like he's still a star, but Jason Tatum's up here.
Jason Tatum is a consistent all-star starter. Jaylen Brown is a consistent maybe all-star. Like I feel like inconsistent all-star, which I don't know if that's gonna be the same. It would be the same thing if he was on a different team, but I feel like Jason Tatum has shown that he's better than Jaylen Brown in most cases.
For sure.
And moving into this top tier, I think this is what I would consider the 8 superstars of the NBA. Depends on your definition of superstar, but I think these are the 8 guys. Starting with the tie between Kawhi Leonard and Luka Doncic for that 7th spot.
I don't know if we've made our opinions known on these two players, but if you did know our opinions, you should know who ranked who where.
I am, I guess, famous for being a Kawhi hater, according to Landon.
I don't call you a Kawhi hater. I call myself a Doncic hater more than I call you a Kawhi hater.
I famously, not really famously because it didn't have any views, but I famously put Luka Doncic over Kawhi Leonard in last year's top 25.
Yeah. I feel like these are all those two guys they've always been next to each other in the top 10 rankings.
At least for this year and last year.
Yeah, and like they just I feel like we always compared them and who should rank over each other.
I will admit that I was wrong last year, but I'm not wrong this year because Luka got better. Kawhi, I should have ranked Kawhi over Luka last year.
Yeah.
But I feel like if Kawhi stays the same, Luka's a better player now.
What if Clippers win the championship? Which I'm pretty sure.
The thing is...
Isn't that your season prediction?
No. Wait, no. I have them in the finals.
Yeah, so you have...
The Clippers are a much better constructed team, though.
Yeah, but led by Kawhi.
I think I'm going to... I'm gonna end up moving Luka and Kawhi up this year
Maybe.
because I could see both Kawhi and Luka going above
I feel like and like
KD and like Jokic. I think.
possibly, yeah.
Like I think both of them will be top 5 next year, but they're gonna have to like do really well in the playoffs to do that. And I feel like, based on season predictions, that I think they will. But yeah, that's difficult.
Yeah,
that's a difficult argument.
So yeah, I think I could definitely see those two guys being switched, and it's definitely difficult to rank Kawhi when he hasn't played, and you don't know how he's gonna slip back into the Clippers, but we'll see.
I feel like since he's already made a recovery like that to the Raptors and then won a championship, and I don't know if he'll have the same type of return, but he should still be a superstar, especially if they do load management with him. And I feel like that's one knock I have with Kawhi, is that he does load management, but I feel like he needs it for the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of that balance where I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like he doesn't have the longevity that Luka will have.
For sure.
And then LeBron James at 6. I think we both agreed on that one. He's better as of right now than Luka and Kawhi, but worse than like Jokic, Embiid, Durant, Curry, and Giannis.
It feels wrong, but it feels also very right. Like,
yeah, I know. It's difficult.
It feels wrong to take LeBron out of the top 5, but then like as you're doing it, you're like, no, like there's no other way. Like he is 6. None of these people are better than him below him. None of these people are worse than him above him. Like
it's so hard to put Jokic and Embiid above him, even though Jokic has 2 MVPs. It is so hard to put those 2 guys over LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
And I did it, and I feel like it's blasphemy, but like it's, I don't know. You guys can have your arguments about that in the comment section, if you guys do that. We are so good at self-deprecation today.
Hey, that's all you. That's all you.
And then moving into our top 5, I actually had Jokic and Embiid pretty high, but we had them tied for top 4 and 5, or tied for 4th. I ranked Jokic above Embiid. You ranked Embiid over Jokic. What's your rationale?
I don't know. I just think I like, and maybe this is just like a watching basketball preference, but I just like Embiid's play style better. Like I like his more like dominant type center. Whereas like Jokic, I don't know. Like I want to see him just, I don't know. I like Jokic, like Jokic, but I feel like I always have felt that Embiid is like the more kind of like skilled, not skilled even, like just more like dominant, more just better big, but Jokic trumps him in like MVP races and stuff like that because of his availability, which I guess probably should have been something I considered in the ranking, but still.
I think you can't deny his 2 MVPs. No. You can't deny his availability. You can't deny that he's more dynamic offensively. Yes. But Embiid is so good defensively. And that's one thing that I was so close to putting him over. Like, Jokic does all these great things. He is almost the perfect player offensively. But his defense is not subpar. It's like average. But like it's really hard to be a top 5 player if your defense is average. I say that with also having Curry in my top 5, but like if you're that dominant offensively, I think that excuses your defense.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you had them above. Yeah.
I had them above Durant, who we have at 3. You had him at 2. I had him at 5.
Again, I don't even know if the KD at 2 was a good choice, but now that I'm like thinking about my decision, I took a nap after I made my list. So like I was pretty tired. I made my list, but I took a nap. So now I'm kind of like, my mind's cleared. I'm wondering if maybe all the decisions I made before my nap were good or not.
I feel like our opinions on Kevin Durant have flipped. Because last year, I had him at number 1. And we had that big argument between Giannis and Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
And I feel like now that he's played a season and he's underperformed, like he still played really well in the regular season, but in the playoffs he was kind of a no-show, and it was obviously against one of the best defensive teams of all time. But like, if you're a superstar, you should still be able to score 20 points a game in the playoffs.
And Curry
and
played against that same team too. So
yeah, it's really difficult.
I think
for me to put Curry below Kevin Durant, and I feel like Kevin Durant's collapse in the playoffs puts him below Jokic and Embiid also.
Yeah, I think if I ranked it again, I probably would put Curry above KD, just because. Yeah, I mean they're perfect to compare right now because they just played the same exact team in the playoffs, and so you can't say, oh well, KD played the Celtics. Mm-hmm. I love how I said that, like I'm trash talking what I would have said, but yeah, like you can't. KD, they both played the Celtics, and obviously Curry beat, like, I don't want to say demolished, but he's the daddy of the Boston Celtics, and KD is not.
Yeah. We both agreed on the number one.
That should be the title of the video.
What?
Curry's the daddy of the Boston Celtics. KD is not.
No, we could make another video about that if you want.
No. Okay. Actually, yeah. I'm fine making that. I'll make a short.
Yeah. And then we both agreed Giannis is number one. I think he's been clearly the best player in the NBA since he won his championship. Even though I didn't do that right out of that championship, I think he has been clearly the best player after his championship. Yes, he did have a not collapse really in the playoffs. Wow. He just didn't have his second best player.
He lost to the Celtics in a close series without his second best player. I'm not gonna hold that against him.
Right. Same way I didn't put the Nets-Bucks series last year against KD.
Yeah.
I
that's the same thing.
With Giannis.
Yeah.
KD was missing players. Giannis was missing players, and I feel like that's why I put KD over Giannis last year. I don't see a reason why Giannis should be a frontrunner for MVP this year.
What?
I don't see a reason why. Sorry, I said that wrong. Giannis should be a frontrunner of the MVP, and I don't see any reason why.
Okay.
I'm sorry for that.
Okay, I knew what you were trying to say, but I was like, wait, did he actually mean that? I was like, I don't know. Okay, yeah, Giannis, best player in the NBA. How long do you think he? I think now he's the consensus among most NBA fans, unless you're on something. How long do you think how long do you think his reign is? Because I would say LeBron, he just passed off. LeBron just passed off the torch to him. I would say, kind of as that. I feel like they kind of.
I want to see if Luka surpasses him.
That's the only combination I can.
Right, and so Giannis is 27. I think when he's like 33 or 34, his athleticism is going to drop off. So
it's going to be then?
I could say probably 6 or 7 years from now.
So he'll have it for a long time.
Yeah, because I think Luka's going to be 27 then.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. Giannis picked up the torch at 27. I think Luka picks it up at 26 or 27. I think that makes a lot of sense.
I always wonder that with Giannis, like, just how because I hope he can keep it, but like, if he can't keep his body healthy and his athleticism goes soon, or not soon, but like eventually,
right?
I don't know what happens to his game. It's like Shaq always says, "Oh, Giannis is the Greek freak in today's NBA." It's like, well, Shaq, once you lost your athleticism, you just became the fat guy on the court. So it's like, do you really want him to be?
The difference between Giannis and Shaq is that
he was never fat.
Yeah, Giannis is. I feel like he's got
a great work.
I feel like he's more dynamic of a game than Shaq. I feel like he doesn't have the dominance that Shaq did.
No. Well, no.
He will at some point.
Yes. And I think Shaq has one of the historically worst work ethics in the NBA.
That's true.
History, and I think Giannis, I wouldn't say that's like an iconic work ethic, but pretty elite.
I don't see a reason why in 5 or 6 years, besides injury, that Giannis would be a better player than Shaq.
Yeah.
And I feel like he would need a few championships, but like.
I mean, Giannis is in top 10 all time for you, right? Not top 20 even. I don't think.
No, he's 20.
He is 20, but I think an MVP and a championship
puts him up at least 15.
Yeah. yeah, so let us know what you think of today's video. Let us know in the comments or our Discord server how you would have ranked certain players differently. It's pretty self-explanatory. Like, there weren't too many people that I was like, oh man, we really should have put them.
We should talk about some snubs really quick.
That's what I was thinking. But
Yeah.
should we just put this at? Should we
Yeah.
put this at the beginning or the end?
No, we can just throw it in there, I guess. Some snubs we did have.
At the end.
It's fine. We can just throw it in right now.
Yeah. So some snubs.
We had Darius Garland. I really wanted to put him in. I also wanted to put LaMelo Ball in. I really wanted to put him in. In my first iteration of this list, I did have him in. Bam Adebayo. He's similar tier to Kat and Rudy Gobert in terms of centers, just not as good as them. Bradley Beal and Anthony Edwards, who I think will make the top 25 list next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I saw the video saying that someone says that Ant's gonna be like the top 5 eventually. And I'm like,
He could.
possibly.
Yeah, but I feel like I don't know.
I think he'll have a better career than LaMelo.
Yeah, just because he's on a better team, I think he's had more players around him, more mentoring around him. The
He's
Hornets
said
are in a
better.
horrible situation. I feel like
He said that for sure.
for sure, and I feel like if LaMelo does have a better career than Anthony Edwards, that says a lot about LaMelo.
Okay, so yeah, let us know what you think. And yeah, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video.
Peace.